Singing?
No.
What are you doing?
I'm just sitting.
Just sitting?
No.
So as we were passing by, we noticed that there's the National Library of Ireland here, and I've never been here, so we decided we'd come and check it out. Let's have a look. So it looks like they have a Yeats exhibition going on here. So if you know anything about poetry, you've probably heard of Yeats. He's the most famous Irish poet and one of the most famous poets in the world. So I don't know that much about it. I've read some of his poems, I've read some of his work, but hopefully I can find out a bit more today. On his gravestone, he decided he wanted this quote: "Cast a cold eye on life, on death, horseman pass by." What does that mean? I guess it's up for interpretation. It's a poet. So one of the reasons that I like reading some of Yeats' stuff is that he's really influenced by Irish, like Celtic mythology and like magic and that sort of stuff. And it's fascinating to read his poems because they do feel magical, and he has a lot of that sort of that feeling that we used to have about how we're connected to the earth in a way that's a little bit more magical. And when you read his stuff, you start to feel that a little bit, and that's, I guess, the artist in him, the real poet in him, is that he's able to make you feel stuff or experience something that you can't explain in normal language. And that's one of the things that we've lost in Ireland over the last few centuries, I guess, partly because of the English coming in, is moving away from the Irish traditions towards what was, you know, the English point of view, and losing our language, and within our language, which had a lot of poetry and magic in it. And you can still see in Ireland there's a lot of famous musicians, whether it's U2 or Enya, and in a sense that sort of that artistic creativity, the writers, James Joyce, you know, Yeats, these sort of people, there's not that many countries that are as small as ours that have as much of an impact on the global scale of creativity, of art. And a lot of that comes from the magic of Irish culture. So Yeats sort of has a beautiful way of expressing that through words. So a lot of Yeats' work had to do with an investigation of the spiritual. And in one way, he was sort of looking to sort of see what is true and what is not, and can you really contact the dead? And in some ways, he would also sort of try to find out who was fake, right? Like, because there's obviously some people who are doing fraud around the whole spiritual scene, seances or fortune tellers. But at the same time, there's a certain element of truth in it. And so how can you determine where the real stuff is and what is the stuff that's made up, what is fake? So my favorite poem by Yeats is called The Cloths of Heaven, and it goes like this. Had I the heavens embroidered cloths, enwrought with golden and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark cloths of night and light and the half-light, I would spread the cloths under your feet, but I, being poor, have only my dreams. I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, because you tread on my dreams. By William Butler Yeats. Ooh, gives me shivers. Who puts a sofa in a bathroom? I think it's for daddies waiting for their sons when they're taking a long time. Not a bad idea, actually.
Nice. Today we went to the gymnastic. After gymnastic, we went to a science little project for Griffin. So they learn how to build little robots. And what is that robot called? Some doodlebot.
Doodlebot, yeah,
Doodlebot.
for doodling. Doodling is like drawing little tiny pictures.
A doodlebot.
Yeah.
And then we went to the National Library of Ireland. And we went to see the point.
Yeats.
Yeah, exhibition about Yeats. So it's a nice day out, and the weather is getting better and better because the spring is coming. So now we're on the way to the car. I think that's a pretty good day.
It's also cool that it's a Wednesday. Like, we're not working full-time normal weeks, so we can sort of choose when we want to do stuff.
Yeah.
So it's nice that on a Wednesday we could just decide, hey, we're gonna go and do all this fun stuff with the kids today. So
Yeah.
that's nice. It's nice to live like that.
It's like word schooling.
That is a G. Yeah.
Where's K?
There's no K here. There's no K for Kyen, only G for Griffin. G for Griffin is G for gymnastics. G, G, G.
K.
That's a G.
K.
G for gymnastics.
K for gymnastics. Gymnastics.
G for gymnastics.
K.
G for gymnastics. Bed is broken, so we gotta go downstairs.
这是数字10，句法，这是数字10。好，
10th floor.
数字10。
Only 9 more floors to go. Anything is fun when you have a Lego motorbike. Mommy doing some teaching of Chinese numbers on the way down. Very productive, mommy.
下楼，然后每天教一遍Griffin，这是数字几？这是数字几？这是数字6。可以说，这是数字，非常棒。
He had a duck, E-I-E-I-O, with a quack quack here and a quack quack there, here a quack, there a quack, everywhere a quack quack, and moo moo here and moo moo there, here a moo, there a moo, everywhere moo moo, and oink oink here and an oink oink there, here an oink, there an oink, everywhere an oink oink, on MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Eat, Kyen.
There was a farmer who had a dog and Bingo was his name. B-I-N-G-O.
I like this one.
B-I-N-G-O and Bingo was his name. Oh,
Okay, this time when you sing it, leave out the B and clap instead.
there was a farmer who had a dog and Bingo was his name. Oh, I-N-G-O. I-N-G-O. I-N-G-O and Bingo was his name. Oh,
Well done. This time, leave out the B and the I.
there was a farmer who had a dog and Bingo was his name. Oh, N-G-O.
Look my voice.
N-G-O.
Look my
N-G-O
voice.
and Bingo was
Look
his
my voice.
name. Oh,
Oh.
This time, just say the G and the O.
there was a farmer who had a dog and Bingo was his name. Oh, G-O. G-O. G-O and Bingo was his name. Oh,
Excellent work, guys. This time, just sing the letter O.
there was a farmer who had a dog and
Just clap.